Want to see a closer look at the all-new Ford F-150 Lightning electric truck? Well, our friends at Edmunds have done it again with this killer first look at what could be the best-selling car or truck in the world in 2 years. This video will detail every intricacy of the new truck slated to hit the market in 2022. Let's check it out.
Hey, Carlos with Edmunds here, and Ford has just unveiled the new all-electric F-150 Lightning. Where some EVs in this space look like awesome super trucks like the Hummer EV or rejected props from Blade Runner like the Tesla Cybertruck, the F-150 Lightning appears to be a truck that also happens to be all-electric. Now that doesn't mean it's boring, far from it actually. Based on the early specs, the Lightning offers up to 563 horsepower, 775 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 acceleration as quick as the mid-4 second range, and a base price around $40,000. In this video, I'm going to explain what you need to know about the Lightning, its key features and specs, and what you can expect when it goes on sale. From how I see it, there are two ways to look at the new Lightning. One is as a pickup truck, which we'll talk about first. The second is as a big battery that you can drive. More on that in a bit. First, yes, this is essentially an F-150 Super Crew or four-door with the short 5.5-foot bed. I mean, down to the same or similar exterior and interior dimensions as a regular F-150. The difference is, of course, it comes standard with two electric motors, one for each axle, one on the front, one on the rear, so it's all-wheel drive as well. Like many other EVs, the Lightning is available with two battery sizes, a standard range and an extended range pack, and these affect power output, acceleration, range, towing, and payload, amongst other things. Based on the early figures, the standard range battery gets you approximately 230 miles of range, 426 horsepower, 775 pound-feet of torque, and a max payload of 2,000 pounds. The larger battery increases range to 300 miles, and with the tow package, it offers 10,000 pounds of towing capacity. We'll talk about that more in a bit. This configuration also gets you that 563 horsepower and mid-4 second 0 to 60 acceleration, which Ford points out is quicker than a Raptor. They're doing that Lightning name proud, thankfully. An EV F-150 also means big structural changes underneath the truck. Ford says the frame is entirely new to accommodate, amongst other things, the batteries, electric motors, and the independent rear suspension. Yes, the Lightning has an IRS, and Ford tells us it's a unique design for this application. Also, because there's no engine, what do you do with all that space under the hood? Well, like most EVs, you turn it into a front trunk or frunk. But in the case of the Lightning, that frunk is power operated and has 400 liters or 14 cubic feet of cargo space, which again Ford points out is large enough for 2 sets of golf clubs. There's also 4 power outlets and 2 USB ports up there as well. Also, that space is water resistant and has drains, so there's lots of storage opportunities in there. Let's talk about pricing. So far, Ford has only said that the base price is just under $40,000, but that doesn't include the mandatory destination fee, which usually is about $1,000 for Ford. So figure about $41,000 for a base Lightning with the standard range battery. We don't know the features included with that version, but we do know it's configured more like a commercial or fleet trim level or spec. Even so, forget it's a pickup for a second, a 420 horsepower two-motor and all-wheel drive EV for $40,000 is a pretty crazy value compared to the other car options out there. And that's before adding the extended range battery, which you can do to the base model. We don't yet know the price of that extended battery, but let's assume worst case, $10,000. Well, then you have a $50,000 EV with 563 horsepower, a 300-mile range. Oh, and it's a truck too. That being said, most shoppers will probably land in the upper trim levels, the XLT, Lariat, or Platinum, and topped out with all the options and additions, including the new 15.5-inch large center touchscreen. The Lightning will probably reach close to $90,000, again, all topped out. And that really isn't far off the price of a fully loaded F-150 Platinum of the regular variety. Also, I should say that these prices don't reflect the $7,500 federal tax rebate or any other incentives currently offered by your state, city, or power company. Just remember that oftentimes these incentives aren't straight price deductions from the vehicle. They can depend on your tax situation, so your mileage will vary. Or I should say your discount will vary. Okay, so the other way to think about the Lightning is that it's a big drivable battery, right? When you opt for the extended range battery, it comes with Ford's 80 amp home charging station. Add an inverter to that equation and you have the ability to power your home with your Lightning. Through a feature Ford calls intelligent backup power, the Lightning can supply 9.6 kilowatt worth of energy. That's enough to run your house for days, and considering the events of the past year or two, that's a pretty cool sounding idea. Ford also says it's working on a feature that, during non-emergency times, it uses the truck's battery to power your home during high-cost peak energy hours, and then charges the truck when energy is less expensive. It's a way to save you a bit of coin. The Lightning also offers a bunch of tech and features from the new F-150, like Pro Power on board, that generator system that's in the bed of that truck. In the Lightning, this feature can supply 2.4 kilowatt at the base level, while higher trim levels offer a combined 9.6 kilowatt, 7.2 from the outlets in the cab and the bed, and 2.4 from the outlets in the front trunk or frunk. Very, very neat. There's also Ford's upcoming hands-free driving tech called Blue Cruise, which works on select highways and uses cameras to monitor the driver to make sure they're actually in the driver's seat and not, in the back seat or asleep. You can also get the flat fold-out interior work surface feature and the fold flat front seats. With an app, you can use your phone in lieu of a key, and like with the Mach-E and standard F-150, the Lightning will also receive over-the-air updates, which Ford cutely calls power-ups. Now, EV trucks come with some additional consideration when you use them like trucks. Simply hauling and, more significantly, towing can make big impacts on your range, and not in a good way. So like with the Mach-E, the Lightning adjusts its range projections based not only on the route, traffic, and topography, but on driver and usage and and it remembers all these things too. On top of that, the Lightning integrates the onboard scales tech that just debuted on the F-150, where the truck uses its sensors to approximate the additional payload in the truck, and it adjusts the range accordingly. The Lightning also does the same when you tow, assuming you have the tow package, of course, by sensing the tongue load. And when you tell it the size of the trailer, it figures out the air resistance and factors that into the range estimate as well. All of this sounds incredibly attractive, and of course it does. It's a new vehicle launch, it should, but we're really looking forward to getting our hands on the Lightning to evaluate how this all works in the real world. Right now, speaking to the information that's currently available, this is a highly compelling alternative to the Tesla Cybertruck or the Rivian R1T. But of course, we'll see how this all shakes out when the Lightning arrives in spring 2022.
Out. Well, there you have it. What an amazing vehicle. Hey, check out these videos on the screen for more from Car Fanatic. Thanks for watching.